Reuters, so our friend Max Cherney over at Reuters, doing a story about Qualcomm potentially acquiring parts of Intel's chip design business. So again, we've gone through multiple episodes now that Intel is simplifying its portfolio and divesting itself of certain ventures. Well, Qualcomm is apparently, according to Reuters, thinking, well, what's up for grabs? What can we buy? And things like Qualcomm is interested in Intel's PC business, the source says. Somehow, I don't think so. I don't think that's ever going to be for sale, unless it's bankruptcy Chapter 11. So
there is an update piece. I put the link in
in my
the
DMs,
word.
yeah,
No, in the word, in your DMs and in the word.
yeah,
Apparently,
okay,
it wasn't just pieces; it was a buyout. Supposedly, if the Wall Street Journal are in fact correct, there's not really much here other than they potentially may try and buy them out, and that's all the
yeah,
reports say.
it yeah. Shares went up and down, but nobody said anything. Um, okay, that's a bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
so the value cap of Intel right now is 87 billion market cap.
in
What's Qualcomm?
190.
So yeah, more than 2x the size. Um, so uh, it's what's interesting here is what parts do you think fit well with Qualcomm's business?
That's a big question that I really don't have an answer for. Now that I'm think like,
Well, so you got to think what parts of Intel business aren't linked exclusively to the x86 stuff, because I don't think Intel would sell the x86 stuff.
no, no. Altera,
So yes, but but Intel's already said that's going to
Mobileye,
be an IPO over time,
yep,
right?
Mobileye.
Again,
Yeah, but I'm just thinking of the divisions of Intel that aren't directly x86
yeah,
based.
yeah.
The graphics parts of the graphics division,
So
maybe
you could argue I was thinking is
Habana.
look, uh, if you take all of Arc, Intel
Yeah.
Arc, right? Despite the fact that it's a critical element of the AI chip going forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Qualcomm already has Adreno,
Yep.
and ever since Qualcomm announced AI PC and they're now in the market, and you've got yours, I've got mine.
Mm-hmm.
People have been asking about discrete graphics support, or are you going to build a big Adreno to make it go
Yeah.
vroom vroom? And my response to this has always been to investors and everybody alike is Qualcomm's going to start where Intel was 4 years ago. And we know how much even first generation Intel Arc has improved in performance in 2 years of
Mm-hmm.
software updates. Qualcomm is going to have to go through all of that. So perhaps buying Arc would solve that. But no, because Qualcomm's built a whole brand around Snapdragon gaming on
Yeah.
Adreno, not Snapdragon gaming on Arc.
Yeah.
It's all right. So Qualcomm would end up with two different graphics architectures internally. Fine for
Also,
business,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Also, so Cerebi in chat says P core, E core, GPU cores should be critical for Intel's future. Selling that is condemning the future of the company. They'll end up like IBM. Do you
Yes.
understand how rich IBM is? Like IBM makes a crap ton of money. They are bigger than Intel in basically every way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. IBM's managed to create a consulting
Yeah,
business. That's
they
that.
are a
that, that
consulting business, right? And they're quite good at that. Like,
um. yeah, it's and
What's IBM's market cap? Let me go see.
they have 240,000 employees, so twice as many as Intel. I know that much.
Yep. And their market cap is, come on, 200 billion.
So slightly bigger than Qualcomm. Yeah, it's so given Falcon Shores is going to be a mixture of GPU cores, AI cores, and then CPU cores, means they can't really sell Habana. They can't sell the
No,
NVIDIA stuff because
nope.
that's integrated in the CPU now. Um, soft some software stuff, security, post quantum cryptography. Um, they can't do like Flex GPU and stuff because that's still part of the GPU
Well,
business.
not just that, that IP's in the CPUs. The only way that they could
Yeah.
do that, potentially licensing, either sell it and license back IP, which sounds weird, but could be done if truly in a squeeze.
So
Yeah.
Intel Quantum,
Mm-hmm.
though that's tied to Intel manufacturing a little bit, and also does Qualcomm really want to put billions of dollars into a business which is still nascent? I think
Mm-hmm.
Intel's perspective. So there's a whole Intel Labs, which is their moonshot stuff. That's what all that's under. Silicon Photonics, that might be a shout.
Why would Qualcomm buy that though?
Exactly, which leads to some of the other other question.
Yeah,
It,
like,
one side of it is what could Intel realistically sell, and the other part is what would Qualcomm want to buy.
well, and that's like if Qualcomm wanted to buy Intel, like wholesale, what would they get out of it other than maybe the server market?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then to me, it just doesn't make any sense.
right. So they could buy Habana,
Okay,
right? Which means essentially Intel exits the data center AI business.
but where's Qualcomm's in there? Because yes, they have the cloud AI chip, but
Well, no, it's perhaps that's it. Perhaps Qualcomm can actually take all that stuff to market properly, and
I would
people
also argue that, okay, now I don't quite know how licensing IP and all that works. But if you sell off, let's say they sell off Habana, right?
and license IP back to Intel.
Well, no, how does that IP transfer work? Because, like,
Well,
so some of the stuff, like the Ethernet networking, right?
mhm.
That's just Ethernet networking. Intel has that. Is that I would that be transferred? I like
So
I
it,
don't know. Like, legitimately, I have no idea.
so say somebody at Intel builds a chip out of other parts of Intel business, right?
Yes.
You have an internal license.
Hmm.
So if you want an Ethernet MAC and PHY on your chip, you have to go to the Ethernet part of the business and essentially get an internal license, such that if that product is ever split and sold, the license can go with it.
Yeah.
So the IP is still owned by Intel, but the license to use it in that product, um, yeah,
Okay.
it's
Somebody is saying next. Okay. That could maybe make sense if it was still Edge and Telco,
no,
but that was
it,
split out.
the telco stuff.
Sorry,
Qualcomm's
Telco's
already
still there. Sorry, I'm thinking Edge and Automotive. That would make sense. Telco also could make sense, but the infrastructure stuff, I don't know.
so the whole point here is that Qualcomm is already quite strong in 5G and that side of
Hmm.
infrastructure. Now, don't forget, base stations and stuff still need FPGAs and dedicated ASICs and whatever
Yeah.
that other people build. And the question is, how much of that stack, how much of that chain end to end do you want to offer
Hmm.
to clients, right? It's again, it's
Yeah.
how this is part of my um a small gripe I have with Intel, even working with a company, is that their org chart and their P&L are very different.
Yeah,
Right? You have the BUs, you have the five BUs, and you have Foundry, five product BUs and Foundry. But realistically, yeah, there's a software division, there's an incubate division, there's Intel
yeah.
Capital, there's
It,
Intel Labs, and all these little different parts of the business that are technically under one of the major headings, but they never.
yeah.
Whenever I've asked for an org chart like that, I always get the we don't make that public. They
Which,
they, won't- they
right,
won't even.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
So Intel's already sold off its 4G business. They say it's already sold off the NUC business.
yeah.
So and you could say, well, the NUC is reliant on Intel CPUs.
To
So
some degree, it is, but also it isn't because you can stick other processors in there.
yeah,
Qualcomm,
I mean,
AMD.
so
Heck, if you want stuff like small embedded platform like NXP CPUs or
yeah,
ST Micro or stuff like that, right?
and Asus could go and build those.